Hey, what's up, guys? So this is going to be the weekly recap. The first stock I want to start off with is TRNR. This thing really messed me up because I started using a much bigger size. I kind of sketched myself out a little bit, and it just really sucked. This thing's set up for a perfect gap and crap. It's set a high, lower high in pre-market. After the open, I wasn't like I almost wanted to get in here at double top, but I wanted a little bit higher, which it gave me a perfect chance right here. Right when it started curling, I got out, but then it stuffed really hard. I didn't get the best entry I wanted, but I got in, and this thing had a clear. Like I knew that was the move. I was like, dude, this thing's done, man. It just did like an offering or something, because I mean that's just a shit ton of volume compared to everything else. Big stuff candle, bottomed out here, but then I got my own head because this thing had a big buy up candle, took about half of the big sell off candle, and then another one started popping up. I was like, man, I remember this pattern from like a month ago, and it would squeeze. I was just, man, what if this goes all the way up to here? I can't be risking that high, but like that's stupid, because that would have been a risk, or even better, just over this, the clear out level, right? But I sketched myself out. I got out, then I got right back in with big ass size again, and then once again, like, okay, that should have been my risk. But then I'm getting sketched out on price action again, and I got out, and then it just faded. I mean, even if I would have stayed in right here around $2, the final cover would have been, probably, like, honestly, probably like right here. But I mean, that's almost 60 cents on the size I'm trading now. Like, that would have been a absolute monster ass day. But I just got so sketched out with price action, and it screwed me over. Then I got triggered because I just missed a beautiful trade, and I also missed this. So this thing halts up, right? It it opens, takes off, but then starts stuffing out up over here, which is at a whole dollar number, which is a clear thing for me to be looking for. But then not only, like, if you did get sketched out here, it gave a beautiful fucking bounce play for a lower high right here. And I mean, once again, like right at $8, man, your first cover's down here at $6. Your second cover's down here like, low fives. Like, that is a freaking monster ass trade, and like, it fucked me up. And then I start trading, this bullshit, which is like, not only did I not get in on the tops, but it gave, I'm not huge for the third opportunity, but like the first and second. Like, it has this clear level. It can't break over that, right? It's, I don't know, it's being weak. Like, those have been decent entries right there. Like, obviously not ideal. This is the only ideal entry, like, really. But if I would have got in here, that wouldn't have been horrible. But, like, getting in down here on this bullshit, this is just stupid. And, like, I finally talked to myself. I was like, dude, this thing is just consolidating from like, 115 until, like, I'm in like close to the end of the day, and I was like, dude, this thing could easily freaking curl in like, power hour and just rip your face off. Just get out, dude. You missed trades, and just be done for the day. So that's exactly what I did. I jumped out, and then the next day would be this KWE. I took a good lower high entry right here. I covered some down here. I recycled when it came to break over the highs. I recycled. I missed this cover. I covered break even. This thing shot up. I'm not really sure why I got in right there, because really I shouldn't have got in there, because it's not a whole dollar number. It's short and front side. This thing did get up close to $1. I got FOMO again. Shorted the base where I should be looking for a long. Clearly I'm in Actually, not clearly because that's after I cover. Then I start shorting front side right around $1. I get cut up on this. Then this thing pops up. I short the stuff, squeezes, and then comes back down. I start shortening again, and then once again I got tricked out on price action because I feel like this is a good trade. I feel like this is a good trade. Bullshit. This is bullshit. This one, like I'm okay with that because it popped through $1, stuffed out. I should have been very careful right here, and I did let it get a little bit away from me. But I'm okay with that trade. I'm okay with this trade, really. Like it starts stuffing out up here. I'm not okay with the stop. I had a little bit of slippage, but then when I start scaling in again, this should have been my exit, and I got shaken out by price action yet again. So that's a rough start. SRM, same thing. Actually, let's see if I can scroll back. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. Actually, let's do this. There, that's much better. 1 second. There we go. Alright, so 930 opens down here low. This is the high up here. I started scaling in at my fib level. It popped over, stuffed out. I added in more size. Once again, that should have been my freaking risk. I didn't cover anything at my first target. I stopped out break even. It goes down to even my second target, pops back up to give me a lower high entry. I got in, but then I cut everything in the money. I was looking for everything down here because it's a lower price stock, and yeah, I didn't play that one very well, honestly. I should have been so damn greedy. I was in big size because it's obviously a very low price stock, but I mean, that right there, that's a freaking big ass payday. So I need to make sure that, okay, dude, like if I'm not in with as much size as I want to, then okay, size up. But like I need to cover some of the first target, some of the second target, definitely some of the third target, and then have a piece for the final target. And okay, if I'm not in with enough size, then just get in with more size next time. That's kind of what I'm thinking now, right? I got in on STA. Actually, zoom this shit in a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Oops. God damn it. This is going to piss me off. Alright, so this is what I call a intraday gapper. Doesn't have any gap. Right at the open, it just runs up, finds the topping up here. I don't care about the first topping. I'm not trying to get like a lower high, really. I'm looking for like another leg up over this. I mean, this wouldn't have been a bad entry, really, and it gave enough room. So like I take that back. This would have been a good entry because it's got enough range to my first target that I would have been worth it. But it squeezed up over the high of day. Then I wanted to see this breakout, right? Because it's already showed that it's playing games. So I'm not trying to get, caught in some shit. I went to short here. I got caught in some shit, and then once again I started scaling in. I missed the beautiful entry up here. This is the clear entry right there. This is short on weakness and having FOMO because I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger over here. I'm adding on clear weakness. Then I'm getting stopped out break even, and then I'm just taking just shit trades. This is just completely like, if you miss a trade, this is me talking to myself, but if you miss a trade, just be done for the damn day. Like, don't be adding unnecessary losses just because you missed the trade. I was also trading. That was the last trade of this day. So really, I have no problem with this trade. I also think that, you know, I don't know about the stop. That's a little bit high for me, especially with the size I'm trading with. This didn't react correctly. When this opens close to the high, just get the hell out, because that's not how a stuff is supposed to work. A stuff is supposed to go through and stuff under immediately. This did not do that. I should have got out quicker. But like really, this thing had a topping, a lower high, and then it fails, bounces into a beautiful lower high. Like this is absolute gold right here with a clear risk level, and that's where I should have got in at 100%. And why I didn't, I just imagine it's the high volume. I didn't want to take unnecessary loss, and so I didn't take it. But really, that's moral of the story is, just follow your setups. I'm trading good. It's just I'm doing like little rookie mistakes that are really costing me. Then XOS, this thing was fucking crazy. So first off, I made a new rule where anything over $5, I'm not trading anymore, because my stats are showing me that I'm getting my ass kicked with anything over $5. So I'm not trading over $5 anymore. This thing had a crazy ass stuff. This thing went from like over $8 down to like $7 in 1 minute. I shorted low, which is sketchy as shit, but then it sketched me out. I didn't get in full size. I had size, cut break even, and I short a lower high entry. I cut out. I short the top, and then it squeezes, and I was just like, dude, I'm out of this thing. And then it finds a topping, right near 9. I don't know if I would have traded down in here, because really this thing was crazy. I shouldn't have. See, now I'm contradicting myself. I shouldn't have traded this at all, because it's too high price stock. And really, that's the moral of the story. Anything over $5, I'm passing up on from now on. I don't think I traded it horribly. It's just I'm using too much size, and these higher price stocks really screw with me, because it triggers my greed emotion for sure. Then walk. God, this thing sucked. So once again, technically I broke my rules, because this thing pops up, it stuffs out. I get in, I cut out. I'm looking for up here. I didn't re-enter after this lower high stuff. Instead, I traded over here with the clear lower high. That's what I'm looking for. I cut it when it didn't work. Pops up here. I short cut it, and then immediately get back in, and I cut it. I had too tight of risk. Really, I'm having either too tight of risk or too loose of risk, depending on the situation. But if you're up near the ceilings, what I call them, ceilings and floors, really risk that damn ceiling, because or just size down. You don't need to be in. This is me talking to myself again. I don't need to be in full size. Even if I was in fourth size up here, $5, if this would have hit, which it does, down here at 3, I made a damn good payday on a freaking fourth size. And really, with me trading a fourth size, I'm fully confident to hold for $1. It would have stopped me out, but then I could have got right back in, and I would have made, I'm not holding all the way down here. This is pretty impressive if you did hold that far. But, which actually my buddy did. Somehow, this son of a bitch freaking got, top ticked this thing and bottom covered this thing, which was impressive as hell. This thing had a topping out up here. I took a lower high. I cut it. I immediately got back in, and I cut it for another loss. It came over here, tried to do a fake break. Well, not tried to do fake breakout. It did do a fake breakout, and then I got pissed off. It was open, and I missed the trade, and it didn't give me a lower high opportunity. It literally hit here and just fucking tanked all day, and I was just like, dude, it really sucked. It really, really sucked. Then I traded PRPH. This thing had a lower high. I missed the perfect entry. I chased it. It got cut up. I finally get the good one, and then I had a good read on this, which is, see, this is where I'm getting screwed up, because sometimes I have a good read on these things and it does squeeze, but then other times I'm focusing too much on price action. What I need to do is, dude, that's my risk. Yes, am I glad that I cut it off? I am, but at the same time, there's been like 5 or 6 times this week where this has screwed me up. Dude, just take the fucking loss. Taking the loss is going to save me more money in the long run than cutting it right away. Like, if I am worried about this, then just have like a freaking like a hotkey for like a market order out. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get some slippage, but I don't know. That's an option. Then it comes up here, breaks over the hive day. I start scaling in. I add some more size. It fails, but then reclaims, and yeah, I got out again. Like, this is another point where I had a really good read on this thing, and that should have been my stop up here. It pops through, even gives a lower high, and I didn't reattack it. And I think that's another problem that I'm having, is that I'm trading too many things at one time, and I'm missing out on all of these. Almost every single stock that I've been looking at this week has had amazing opportunities. This is at 83 cents. Final cover would have been down here. It's 62, 20 cents full size. That would have been a damn good payday. And really, on these lower price stocks, I have zero problem holding the whole day. I have no problem whatsoever. But once again, if I want to get on more size, then do. But I need to start covering some down here and just playing it the way that my system tells me to play it, and not be super greedy. Which, if you can't tell from this video, I'm having a hard time with. So, the next one was FGEN. I started scaling in up here. It sucked because I was only in literally fourth size at the best entry of the entire day. I added on weakness at VWAP. I cut it. I missed the lower high because I really thought they was going to go up here again. This, obviously hindsight would have been a really good place to go. I missed it, and then at the open, it's dead. For me, there's no entries. Yeah, sure, I could have got here, but what is that? That's 15 cents. I'm not trading for that shit. But up here, this would have been a phenomenal trade. So. Then I traded STAI, intraday gapper. Starts gapping up. I start seeing weakness up in here. I missed all of this kind of shit in here. It broke over this level. Popping up here, I start scaling in, but I'm getting too many low ads. I do respect my risk. I got out here. I got right back in, but that's the crazy thing. I can't remember, to be completely honest with you. I had been in with much smaller size because I added down here. But then I cut it, and then I started adding back in. I covered, I added, and I cut it off break even because I'm adding too low. And I don't know, that's another thing. I need to just get in my head, whatever size I'm in up here, around $5. Okay, if I hold down here, even if I'm in half size right there, dude, that is a good payday. And if I'm not in full size, then don't cover at the first target. Just lower my stop to break even. Look for either the second target or third target, and then have a small piece for the fourth target to make it worth my time. And that's a good way that I can trade it. Or enter here. It fails, bounce off this. Look for a lower high here, or roughly around there. I would be looking for, and then have the stop break even. And okay, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But that sucks. Doing these lower ads like that, it just kills me. Yeah, I mean, even if I covered, say, so I have this average, I cover half here, then I add here, my stop should have been roughly there, I mean, you still made a pretty damn good payday, but I'm getting chopped up because in my gut, I know that that's just a fucking chumps ad right there. Like, that's not an ad, dude. Especially with that buy wick right there. Like, I never should have gotten that trade ever. Then Bureau. This thing had a high up here. I shorted the lower high, stopped out. The thing starts popping up. It bounces at the open. It goes into area. I start scaling it. I started up here. I shorted, slammed the bid, but the bid covered me like, it's a lower price stock. It was like 3 cents below. But like on this stuff, I'm risking like 2 or 3 cents maximum. And so I had to stop out. It pops back up here. I start scaling in again. I stopped out. Stopped out house. Like what I'm doing is I'm getting with big size, and if I do take a stop, I will cover half. That's something I'm kind of messing with. Is I'll cover half and I'll look to add half if it starts reacting the right way, or I'll just take a stop on half size, which is what I did. I took a little loss right there. This thing has a topping out up over here. I slammed the bid, covered because it freaked me out, and then I slammed the bid again, and I was just over it because for me, I'm trading like shit. So I was just like, dude, I'm clearly just in my head, just get the hell out of this damn thing. And oh yeah, because of this freaking stock, I got my fucking ass kicked on MLGO. So I'm shorting this. I cut it in pre-market, but then this thing starts coming up. Right, it's set up for a lower high. I got in. I didn't like the way it's acting. It's acting crazy. I got out. Then I got in. I had a pretty good entry. I covered some and re-shorted on the bounce. I cut it off. Then I started scaling in. I cut it, and like honestly, I turned this thing into a damn machine gun. Like I was trading with way too much size, and once again, this is all against the rules because I'm over $5. Yeah, I started under $5, but once it gets over $5, just be done with the damn thing. And man, this thing, like I'm sure this blew accounts. Like for real, this thing was crazy as shit. But what a like this stock actually, I've never done this before. I've always had like a max daily loss. I've never had a max loss on a ticker. This I set a max loss on a ticker because this actually made me get max loss. I had a few other trades I was green on, so I didn't realize how far I was down because I don't like to look at my P&L because it messes with me. It makes me greedy and stubborn and all sorts of shit. So I try not to look at it. But this stock alone, I hit my max loss on this by itself. All the other trades, I was just killing it in a couple other ones. So I didn't even realize that how big of a loss I had until this shit happened. And this is the reason that I now have a max loss on a ticker. So because that's another thing I started realizing is when I do have bad days, really it's mostly just one stock that I have a horrible day on. So if I can limit my loss on that one stock, and I have it like at half of my max loss, that way, if I would have limited this to half of max loss, I still would have ended up green on the day. But this one stock by itself, like screwed me on the day. So I'm not letting that happen again, and I'm reducing my risk, and so luckily, like honestly, like that's the thing is like instead of kick myself down, like learn from the mistake, and so that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm adjusting to it. But in hindsight, another thing I'm looking at is anything that starts popping over pre-market high. Look at that, it cups right on pre-market high, dude. If that is not a fucking buy signal, I don't know what is. But I mean, imagine instead of shorting here and fighting this thing, you get long, dude. Even like 100 shares at $5. I mean, shit, dude. This thing. I mean, obviously, like nobody in their right mind thought this thing was gonna fucking top out, at $12. But I mean, fuck, dude. You never know, Like, I mean, look at the freaking distance from the first target. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, I mean, like this is where these higher price stocks make me greedy, because I mean, this thing is my first target's at $7. This thing's topping out at $10. Dude, you get in with a sixth size, just a sixth. That is a home run trade in my book. Like, that's enough money for, like, on 1/6 of the size that I'm trading to have a fucking monster ass trade. And that's where it screws me up, because like, once I start like recognizing, oh dude, like, you're starting to get greedy, it's over, man. And I start chasing it, and it's like fucking gold fever, or whatever people want to call it. I started trading NAAS also. Let's see, I'm topping out here. I'm looking for a lower high. It bounced from here. Took a lower high. I respected my stop. I'm actually really fucking happy with this trade right here. Yeah, I took a loss. I am happy with that. Why? Because I did it correctly. That's how I should be doing it. This thing tops up here. I start scaling in. That's not how I should be doing it, because this has been happening a lot lately. It does these fucking curls, right? Like, I keep on freaking saying, dude, I'm in with tiny ass size. Cool, man. Like, okay, how I do this is, if I'm in full size, I cover half, I cover another half, and then whatever's left over I ride down here, right? So if I'm only in, a fourth size, skip it, cover all. Like that's how I think I need to start doing it. Okay, cool. You're in tiny size. Who gives a fuck? You're in at 270. I cover everything down here at 185. Like, dude, that's more money than making my full-time job. That little tiny ass trade right there, and I don't get screwed up. I mean, like, I'm getting really good entries. Where I'm really screwing up is I'm trying to size in too much. I'm starting to let the money dictate me, and that's not how I want to be doing it. On the other note is, this thing is making a clear, at least to me, distribution pattern. Like, I would have liked it if it held again and made like another smaller pop over here, which it didn't do. This shit was crazy. I really don't know where this got to. It might have, like, realistically got up here, but like, I don't know. But if I'm in here, dude, okay, just fucking hold it. Don't be doing any of these stupid ass ads down in like the valley. Because how I teach is, that's the floor, that's the ceiling. You short as close as you can to the ceiling. You do not short down here. You long down here. That's why I'm getting cut out here. If I shorted right here, cool. Okay, well, it's getting close to my freaking entry point. Cool. Load the fucking boat. Why? Because I'm getting short at 275. I'm risking 285. I can load the boat with ungodly amount of size, risking 10 cents. I'm okay with that. Completely okay with that. What I'm not okay with is this shit down here. Then I get stopped out. Then it starts fucking with me, and then I start trading horribly. This, I'm super proud of myself here. This pisses me off, because I cover when my stop should have been up here, and then I immediately re-enter. I cover, and I cover everything, which is crazy as shit. Like I said, even if I'm in small size, which I know I am because I'm pissed off, and that's why I cover everything here. I'm looking for a pop at the open, which it doesn't give. I mean, I guess this, but like, that's not high enough. If the high is up here at 285, I'm not loading the boat at 250. I'm just not doing that, because that's too much risk for me. I want to have like 10 cent risk, but what I am okay with is taking a quarter size here, because okay, I take a quarter size at 250, I'm okay risking 350. I'm completely okay with that. But if I do that, I have to look for down here. And that's just kind of the way that I need to start working on this stuff. I'm going to start going back, and with my students, I want to start really figuring out ways to work around things. Like how I work on, actually, I'll talk about that here in a second. I'm gonna finish this off really fast. So NKGN, it finds a topping. I don't like this lower high. It's too close to my target down here. This thing starts popping up. I know that, like, I know I just said that I don't like this, but when this thing starts finding toppings over here, I start scaling in, because for me, this should have been my risk. And that's another thing. If I get in with a filler, that should be my risk. Not adding up here, because now my average is like even bigger, right? So this thing pops up over the pre-market high. I scale in like this. If I got a filler, it should be here. That way I'm not getting a full size cut. I'm getting a little size cut. Okay, cool. This thing just sucked. And then I missed, once again, like I said, this is why I don't want to be adding down in this bullshit, because this has been happening over and over and over. It does this freaking cup, and normally it really does break out and at least has like a couple of wicks up in here before it fails. But that just sucks. I missed the next entry over here at 72 cents. You know, first cover's down here. Okay, 10 cents lower. Okay, like even on half size, is that, you know, a home run? No, but it's a decent trade. And, you know, yeah, it's a decent trade. Or like on lower price stocks like this, what I can do, 72 cents, you know, what if I skip my first target? I just lower my stop to break even here. 60 cents, I mean, that's not really that much of a difference. It's 5 cents. But I don't know, what I can do is, okay, just have my stop break even. Maybe if I do it better this week and I start taking trades here, just start looking for this, because almost every single lower price stock is hit the final target. If I'm in full size from 72 cents and I cover everything down here like 52 cents, that's a good solid trade. Like, that's all I need for the entire day. So that might be a way that I can start doing it. I wasn't in full size on this one. This is only 26 cent stock. I covered everything down here. It wasn't worth my time, because I started thinking, I was like, man, I'm like 26 cents. With my final cover is not even 10 cents away. Like, this is to me is just straight FOMO. Like, I mean, you have to get into this thing with like 10,000 shares to make it even worth your time. But where I was going with this was that how I like to trade is I look at scenarios, or I plan out scenarios. Okay, if this happens, I do this. If this happens, I do that. If this happens, I do this. Because that way, if you rehearse that in your mind, that way when it does happen, you have at least an idea of how you should react. You're going to be, you know, you're going to have emotions and stuff, and so nothing's guaranteed. But the more you rehearse that over and over, it's like when I used to go kickboxing, right? Like, my biggest downfall was I would go in and be like, oh, dude, I'm like, not trying to sound super arrogant or cocky to like you guys. I don't want you to think I'm a douchebag, but like, I kind of was a douchebag back when I fought. I used to be like, I'm the baddest motherfucker in the United States. This guy's gonna get in there. I'm gonna fucking hit him, and he's just gonna drop and crumble. That's the dumbest shit in the world, because this dude, I had a name for myself. What would that do? Like, that guy wants to make a name for himself. He's gonna get in the ring and he's gonna fight his freaking heart out, right? And when I finally realized that, like after one of my friends was like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing, man?" It made me be like, I started playing scenarios in my head, like, okay, if this happens, I do this. If this happens, I do that. And like, that was a really big shift in my kickboxing career. And not only was it very humbling after I got my ass kicked by a couple guys that I thought I should easily beat, which is kind of like the stocks. Like, I trade some of these stocks, and I'm like, oh, dude, this should be like, robbing a baby. And in hindsight, it is. But when your emotions are getting triggered, it's not so freaking easy. And it's like, okay, well, like, they're not just gonna hand you fucking money, right? You're trading. Okay, well, what's some of the things that I've been noticing? They'll start to hold, and they'll start to curl. Okay, well, I start seeing that kind of formation. Okay, dude, like, how much size am I in? Is there like overhead resistance? Was there a shit ton of volume before I entered the trade? There's a clear level to risk off of. There is, okay, risk that level. There isn't, I might have just got in at the best possible point. Okay, so now I need to risk just over the high of my candle. Don't cut it off, break even. Just accept the risk, because that's another thing. You can't make money with scared money doesn't make money. You have to be okay with risk. And me cutting it just in the money, that's not be okay with risk. That's me trying to make a bunch of money and protect. Dude, you have to keep your risk on, because that's what price action is all about. Price action is all about shaking you out. The more people that get shaked out of position, the more money the big money makes. And so if you want to keep it, have your risk and just make sure that you're not adding on weakness. You're not adding on these bullshit stuff. Like I said, I don't add low. The lines on there are called the J lines, and it's my old mentor's thing. I don't trade that shit at all. You trade the highs. That's where the smart people are getting in at. They're not getting in on weakness. You don't get in on weakness. If you miss the trade, okay, then what do? Okay, you don't cover anything at the first target. You lower your stop to break even, because if your first target was hit, then that's where I should be taking profits at. If I'm not taking profits there, that's fine. But I'm not risking anything. If it comes up and stops me out break even, that sucks. Either I see a clear spot for me to get back in, or it's just how it fucking worked out. And be more precise on your entries. And then don't be so overwhelmed. On some of these trades, they're giving you the perfect place that you're looking to get in at, but I'm trading so much shit at one time that it's just not working out at all. And I was trading futures, and really I kind of feel like I need to put futures on hold for right now, because I need to start focusing and getting my mojo back on small caps and start really hammering this new size. And still, dude, it's time to make some fucking money. Especially right now, I feel like the small cap market is really going crazy. And so for me, okay, just watch the futures market and start to analyze it and start seeing, I'm seeing certain patterns. Once I get more of a feel for things, then I can kind of take a more back approach, and then obviously lower my size a lot more on futures. And my bread and butter is small caps. I've been trading small caps for 6 years. That's my bread and butter. So focus on that, and then once I start getting a clear read on that, and especially once the opening is done, I don't want to be trading the open on futures anyways, because it's really fucking insane. On small caps is a joke compared to futures. Wait until futures chills out a little bit. You start seeing patterns, you start seeing things, then start scaling in on futures. And especially if I already have, my great entries on small caps, which I'm just getting shaken out of them, and start playing them a little bit better and really start to capitalize on this, because once again, I'm talking to myself, but I'm a really fucking good trader. I've made a lot of money. I've done really well, and I know how to do this shit. So I need to just fucking own it. Just do it. It's the same damn thing as kickboxing. I would have a couple of losses, and I get my own head, and it's just nah, dude, fuck that shit. I'm still a national champion. I'm still one of the top fighters in the country. I need to own this shit. It's the same thing as trading. I don't know how many people I've talked to that are not profitable, and it's I'm already doing better than 90% of the people out there. And so I need to own that, and I need to be humble and grateful for what I'm making, and not asking for more. If I only get in them with 4 size, fucking be happy, dude. That me trading on 4th size, taking the full move, I'm making more money in the stock market than I am in my full-time job. So stop being a greedy motherfucker and be happy with what you have. And that's kind of how I feel like I need to talk with myself, because man, I can absolutely change my family's entire life just from trading, and that's what I plan on doing. And I just need to get out of my own fucking way and stop self sabotaging myself because I am really fucking good at this shit. And so it's time to just fucking own it. So that is the weekly recap. I hope anybody that watches this likes it. If you're having a hard time in small caps, just fucking own it. Do what I'm doing right now. Like, okay, well, what are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? And honestly, like I said, I'm not trying to sell people in my community or whatever. But like, I mean, even if you don't want to get in my community, that's completely fine. But like, hit me up. You need somebody to talk to or somebody to like ask advice on. Like, even if you're not willing to, get into my community and be a part of the team, I still like to have conversations about trading stocks. It's my favorite thing in the world. So, you need a little bit of help. Got a couple questions. Like, yeah, if you're blowing me up every day, I'm not gonna fucking answer you. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't have time for that shit. My time is very valuable. But, if you're a cool dude and like we click, we can have a couple conversations. So anybody watching this is having a hard time and wants somebody to, chat with and pick your brain and all that kind of stuff, hit me up. And if not, I hope you guys are learning something from this. And really, like, I like rewatching this because it's like I get to talk to myself, and I don't know, I'm being my own like mind coach, my own mentor, and I don't know, it helps me out a lot. So hope you guys have a good week, and I will be back next week. Later.